What's up, guys? Good evening and shit.
I've had this idea ever since I made my peer ranking video, and I thought, you know what, let's just do it. I couldn't find a tier list that had every single peer track released by Pierre himself on SoundCloud and on streaming services. So I made this thing. I'm pretty sure this is like every single Pierre track from his SoundCloud, from King of the Hill all the way up to Grails. And side note, I didn't include Space Age Pimpin' because this album fucking sucks. I'm sorry, but it's one of the worst albums Pierre has made. Even compared to Yo 88, this thing it does not deserve to be on this list. So let's just get started because look at how many tracks there are. This is gonna be like a 50-minute video. Jesus Christ. For the 2000, Pierre and Cardo's Wild Adventure. This is one of the first tracks I liked from this album because it's very simple, very chill, very laid back. The lyrics are a bit whack. It feels like a child wrote the lyrics, but it's A tier. Doublemint, it's a classic. Like Doublemint is probably like top 5 on TLOP 4. So it's going on S tier. Like even without the sample, it's still a very good track. And looking at the streams, it's very underrated compared to some other tracks on the album. 40 Clip, The Life of Pierre 5. This is a very slept on track by Pierre. I have seen some people hating on this track, but I love it. It's Pierre on an evil beat, and yeah, she's doing a good job on this track, especially compared to some other tracks on TLOP 5. If you like this track, I recommend you listen to the live R&B version Pierre made. It's pretty good. So this is A tier. 42, this might be a bit controversial, but I never really liked 42 that much. 42 is just, it feels a bit like Pierre is trying to catch up with the beat. The beat is pretty good, but I don't really listen to it. So it's going on B tier. It's not a bad track, it's just I don't listen to it. 4L, a few good flows here and there on this track, especially the second half of the song is very good. But I don't know, I'm not really crazy over this song. It's pretty mediocre. And this might seem a bit brutal putting these tracks on B tier, but I'm a massive Pierre meat rider. I'll listen to 4L. I love 4L. So take this whole ranking with a grain of salt. If I put like a track on C tier, it doesn't mean I don't listen to it entirely. You know, maybe I'll put like a track I was in love with in B tier just because I don't listen to it anymore. You know, my taste changes, and this tier list will probably be very outdated in like a month because I listen to Pierre constantly. So yeah, just keep that in mind. For You, one of my all-time favorite Pierre tracks. That's the reason why there's this heart thing I wrote, because I love this track. It came out at the perfect time. Very good memories with this track. Very good beat. The only gripe I have with this track, the only thing I hate about it, is that Pierre decided to change the outro on Apple Music, and it's so much better on Apple Music than on any other platform. If you don't know what I mean, just like search on YouTube For You Apple Music version. It should pop up. Like the outro is so much better on this version, but it's obviously S tier. Probably one of the best tracks on Pierre and Cardo's Wild Adventure, especially because of that beat, that loop. It's so mesmerizing. I don't know why, but it's S tier. And I've seen a lot of people hating on this track too. It's not that bad. Amen. Same with 42. Pierre is trying to catch up with the beat, but it's not as bad as 42. It's a bit more listenable than 42, so it's going on B tier. Coming to America, The Life of Pierre. This is one of the tracks I never listened to. I never liked from The Life of Pierre 1. And don't get me wrong, The Life of Pierre 1 has so many great tracks, especially for its time, but this was not it. My Calendar, pretty good. I listen to this a lot because it's one of the only tracks that is on Spotify because of some person that decided to post it, and for some reason Spotify hasn't taken it down yet. It's going in A tier. I like this track a lot. Awesome. I love the beat on Awesome. Very mesmerizing. The lyrics are a bit bad and corny, but like it's a Pierre track, so I'm not really expecting anything different. It's going in A tier. Backseat, not much to say about this track. It's not bad. It's not anything crazy though. It's going on B tier. Ballad, a lot of people might hate me on this, but Ballad for me, I like the track, but I don't really listen to sad songs anymore, or like very like songs that make you reminisce. I don't really like listening to them because it puts me in a bad mood. But this track is amazing, fits the album perfectly, and I love the transition from it to routine. It's going in A tier, not S tier. At Pharrell, I didn't like this track that much. I never listened to it, so it's going on D tier. Be Mine is one of the best tracks on TLOP 4. It's one of the first tracks I was ever obsessed with from Pierre. I remember listening to that first verse so many times. I love this track. It's going on S tier. Berberg is another great Pierre and Cardo track. Again, Cardo delivering with the beat, and I love the transition from My Shooter to this. It's amazing. It's going in A tier. It's not quite as good as the first track on Pierre and Cardo's Wild Adventures, but it's still pretty good. Bebe's Kids is it's great. It's like when somebody tells me that Pierre cannot rap, I just play this song and they shut the fuck up, because this is like concrete evidence that Pierre can rap. S tier. Biology 101. When The Life of Pierre 5 came out, I never really listened to it. I knew people loved this track because it was a grail for a lot of people, but I never really got into it that much until recently. Recently, I've been listening to this quite a lot, and I like it. I like it a lot, so it's going in A tier. Black Iverson is from Pierre's Sauce Girl tape before the Life of Pierre tapes. It's pretty ahead of its time, but while listening to it, you can tell that Pierre is still hasn't developed his style that well. But I love this track. Compared to some other tracks, it's not that great, but for its time, it was pretty good. I'm putting it in B tier though. It's not quite as good as the stuff that is in A tier. Block Boy is one of the best tracks on Yo 88. Yeah, not much else to say about it. It's not anything crazy. It's going on B tier. Blowing Minds Freestyle, I think, is like a single released by Pierre on SoundCloud, and it has the beat from the Blowing Minds track by ASAP Mob, and I love this track. It's way better than the ASAP Mob version. I always listen to it. It's just so good. It's so good. It's going on S tier. Blunts, The Life of Pierre 2, not bad. I like the intro to Blunts, and he legitimately goes off. He goes off on this track. So it's going on A tier just because of his flows. Waterboy is pretty good. It's not as good as Blunts though, is it? It's one of the best tracks on The Life of Pierre 2 though. It's going on B tier. I don't listen to it that much. I was listening to it in the past, but Bucket List, pretty okay. Not anything crazy. I listened to it a lot, but I got burnt out from it, so it's going on B tier. Butterfly, it's again the same with 42 and Amen. He doesn't quite catch up with the beat. He's like chasing the beat, trying to catch up. I like the beat though. The beat on this track, my god, it's amazing. But it's going on B tier. Chicken Waffles from Grails. Here's my gripe with this track. If you go and listen to the leaked CD quality version before this released, it's so much better than this. And I don't know why. Pierre sounds a bit off tune. There's something is off with Pierre's release, and I don't know why. It's going on B tier. I love this track, but he fucked it up. He did something with his vocals. I don't know. Captain Save-A-Ho is okay. Not anything crazy. I listened to it a little bit at one point in my life, but right now I don't really listen to it that much. It's not a bad track though. It's pretty good. Cash Bro is again it's probably the best track on The Life of Pierre 2. Very laid back, very ahead of its time. It's going on S tier. I don't care. It's amazing. Chit Chat from Yo 88. I'm pretty sure this has a Wiz Khalifa feature, which is so out of pocket for this album. But I didn't think much of it when it first came out, but like a month later, I was like, okay, this is kind of good. And I listened to it a little bit. But most of the tracks on Yo 88 have the same format, and it gets boring at one point. So you kind of stop listening to Yo 88 after a while. So it's not a bad track. It's C tier. Civil Rights, not anything crazy. I don't have much to say about this. I definitely listen to it a lot, but it's not anything crazy. B tier. Collection Plate, I hated this track. I really did. I'm so sorry, but like, I didn't like this track. And it's kind of hard to say because I know there's someone out there that's gonna stumble upon this video and he's gonna be like, dude, this is my favorite Pierre track. I didn't like it, bro. Shut up. It's going on D tier. I hated it. Conspiracy is one of those tracks that you skip based on the intro, but then you're like, okay, this is fire. It's pretty fire. Conspiracy is pretty fire. Especially that outro with Peter Griffin telling Pierre to bring him the sauce. That is pretty funny. Going in A tier just for that. I mean, come on. Do I have to say anything about Couch? Couch is like, I'm pretty sure it's like my most played song ever. When TLOP 5 came out in 2021, it was like my most played track. And then the next year, it was like up there on my top 5 again. So yeah, it's S tier. It's not my favorite Pierre track anymore. I've kind of stopped listening to it, but it's S tier. Coolican, pretty whatever. I don't have much to say about this. Nothing noteworthy, so I'm just gonna put it in C tier. Drake and Chill is probably the best The Life of Pierre 1 track. Great flows. The sample is amazing. I don't know. I don't have much to say about. I don't have anything else to say other than it's just S tier. If you haven't listened to Drake and Chill, please do yourself a favor and go check it out. I love the beat on Death at a Funeral, but I don't have much else to say about this. Pierre's, you can listen to Pierre rapping on this like very raw vocals. As far as Pierre's raw vocals go, it sounds pretty good. And yeah, it's gone on B tier. Deja Vu is one of these tracks I listen to so much I can't really listen to it anymore, but I love it, so it's going on A tier. DJ in the Car, I was obsessed with this track when Pierre was previewing it on IG Lives before Good Movie released. And when it released, I didn't listen to it as much. And I don't know why. I think he changed something with the beat. I think he put 808s that were very unnecessary, but it's still a good Pierre track. It's going on B tier though. So here's the thing with Drunk and Nasty. It got very popular, and because of that, I didn't really want to listen to it because I've listened to it 1,000 times, right? When it came out. If you go back and listen to the track and have a clear mind, and you're like, you just remove all that bullshit away that it was like trending and stuff like that. If you just listen to this song for what it is a very good song, especially from Pierre. I like it. I don't listen to it, but it's going on A tier because it's a pretty good Pierre track. X Factor is one of the best tracks from Good Movie. It was like the most memorable track on my first listen from Good Movie. It's going on A tier. The OG version was better though. For Your Eyes Only, not much to say about this. C tier. Same with Fake as Hell. I don't have much to say about this either. Feds is a classic Pierre track. You know, it transitions from Try Again, and it's amazing. I love this track, and I love the outro to this track as well. It's not quite S tier though. It's A tier. Fiji is a very slept on track. Lyrics on this actually kind of make sense, and they're not just like gibberish. And the beat with them cowbells by Cardo is amazing. Like Pierre flows in it perfectly, and the transition from it to My Shooter is just top tier. So it's going on S tier for me. I loved it. I love this track, and just recently I found out how good it is. Don't have much to say about Flex Washington. It's pretty good, but it's not anything crazy. It's going on B tier. Fortune Cookie is pretty good as well. It transitions from Conspiracy, I think. Or no, it transitions from TVH. Fortune Cookie is very just like middle ground for Pierre. Not anything crazy. Bare bone lyrics, you know, just like it's B tier. It's a B tier. A Man Freestyle is a song I discovered this year from Pierre's SoundCloud. It's produced by Southside, I think, and it's amazing. Like his flows on this track are amazing, and I fell in love with this track. I really did. On my first listen, I was like, "This is oh my god!" I was just blown away. It's not quite S tier though. It's a bit rough sometimes. It's on A tier though. Fuck is pretty good. As far as Pierre's tracks from that era go, this is pretty good. It's on B tier. It's on B tier. Okay, hear me out on George Lopez. Who the fuck asked for George Lopez to be selected for Grails? Pierre, you could have released Purple Hearts. You could have given us Mystery Machine, Bobby Boucher, Minute, No Better, and you put George Lopez on this bitch? Pierre is so stupid sometimes, man. Like, George Lopez is mediocre. It's not anything crazy. B tier. I listened to Good Movie only when he released it as a single before he released the album. I after that, I never listened to it. It's C tier. Gutter Blast is the intro track from Ford Deluxe, and it's pretty good. It's not the strongest intro Pierre has put out, so it's going on B tier. I fell in love with Groceries, especially because of the time it came out, but also because I have strong memories of how Pierre marketed it, and he marketed it TLOP 5 with it as well. So it's gone on A tier just for that. The song is pretty good. Growing Pains, if I put this thing below S tier, I would be doing it wrong. So it's S tier. The beat, the transition to it from Moto, I don't have anything to say. His flows on this are amazing. Yeah, that's it. I don't have much to say. Guillotine, come on, man. Like, come on. If I put this thing on the A tier, people would kill me. This is a classic. This is a classic Pierre track. Is it better than Double Mint though? It's S tier. Hacked My Instagram Part 1 and 2, both amazing. People had to be going crazy over this track when it first came out. Yeah, not much else to say. A tier. Harry Potter, I think it's the intro to The Life of Pierre 2. Not bad. B tier. Whatever that means is amazing. The beat on whatever that means is truly just like, when I first heard this song, I was like, yeah, this definitely had to be released like a year ago. But it was The Life of Pierre 2, and it was in 2016, and I was like, holy shit, it's so futuristic. And it's the second best track on The Life of Pierre 2. That's why it's going on S tier. Here's a hot take from me. Hearts say it's not that good. It's D tier. Pierre tried to just like, he tried too much with this track, and you can tell that he did, but he tried to an unhealthy amount to make it sound how he kind of wanted it to sound, but like, I think he overthought this track a bit too much. Home Improvement, B tier, mediocre to okay for me. Okay, for you, you might love this. I don't love it. Homecoming, I have a lot of memories of listening to this thing on repeat, but I don't listen to it anymore, and I don't like it because, and I'm not gonna listen to it now because it has that stupid structure that every other track has on Yo 88 that it's just boring. So it's going on C tier. It's going on C tier. Honeyberry 2, again, I don't know if it's snippet syndrome. Actually, no, it's not snippet syndrome because Honeyberry 2 leaked before he released it, and it was without all these stupid effects in his voice. And Pierre was like, okay, I'm gonna release Honeyberry 2, but I'm gonna fuck it up. Pierre, you could have just given us that bare bones version. That's what we wanted. Like, what is wrong with Pierre sometimes? Honeyberry 2 is still a good track. It's an A tier, but god damn, man. Honeyberry is pretty good. I listened to it a lot when I first got into Pierre. Very simple, but also very complex in terms of like what's going on with the beat. So I'm just gonna put it in A tier. I hate Hop in My Bed because it could have been so good. Fun fact about Hop in My Bed, Pierre made a whole music video for Hop in My Bed and decided to not drop it because he changed Hop in My Bed for the final release. He added this stupid ass effect in the background. It sounds so weird. He added those Vine boom sound effects. The OG version was so much better. Pierre overthought it too much. And then I'll never listen to Hop in My Bed. I listen to the version that is on YouTube that's like 100 times better. D tier. Horoscopes, it's pretty good. I think a lot of people are gonna get mad for this, but it's going in A tier because it's not quite S tier for me, man. I'm sorry, but it's not quite up there. How High, I like the middle of the track where Pierre starts just rapping a bit harder, so I'm just gonna put it in A tier. How It Be, not anything crazy, very unremarkable. It's going on C tier. IG, yeah, I'm so happy that IG Hose is out. He didn't do anything crazy with the track, he just put it out. A tier. Hulu, you already know what Hulu is going. It's going on S tier because it's one of the best Pierre tracks ever. The beat development throughout the track goes so hard. Pierre snaps around like the 3-minute mark. The only little gripe I have with it is that it's a bit too long, but I don't mind because I love it. And I still listen to it like 2 years later after it released. I'm Sleep, it's fine. It's on B tier. The Life of Pierre 3 intro is amazing. You gotta listen to it. It's going on A tier. Intro to Love is an interlude. As far as Pierre's transitions go, this kind of sucks, so I'm putting it in D tier. Here's a funny story about the Life of Pure 5 intro. Spotify stats tells me that I've listened to this more than Switching Lanes. Isn't that fucked up? I'm putting it on A tier because I think it's kind of funny. I like the intro to It Is What It Is. It can feel a bit repetitive after a while, so I'm putting it on B tier. JP is okay. I listened to it a lot when I first got into Pierre, but now I don't really listen to it. But it's A tier. It's A tier, yeah. Listen, I never listened to Joe Morris. It was the only track I skipped, and I'm sorry, but I have to put this on D tier. I'm super confident that a lot of people hated Juice when they first heard it because it's nothing like any other track on the Life of PR4. It's nothing like anything else on the album. But if you actually listen to it, it's good. It's going on A tier. Karma is good. It's pretty good. I don't have much to say about it. It's on B tier. I don't listen to it that much anymore, but I like the second verse on it though. The second verse is pretty good. Kevin Durant, B tier. Not anything crazy. Kingdom Hall skit. Listen, Kingdom Hall skit is one of the best transitions Pierre has made. It's going on A tier because I'm not putting an interlude on S tier. And Kingdom Hall is going in A tier as well because it's like top 3 good movie for me. So I like the sample on Losers and Winners, but other than that, not much else to say. It's going on B tier. Lessons, come on. Lessons is on S tier. Lessons is S tier. Big Grail, I love this track from like the first months I started listening to Pierre. And now that it's finally out, I can sleep at night knowing that we got Lessons. Logline, pretty shit as far as Pierre transitions go, so it's going on D tier. Love Ballad 2 outro is amazing. You gotta listen to it. The 808s are stupidly like loud for some reason, but I love this track. It's going on A tier. Same with Love Ballad. Love Ballad is good as well. Love Drill, I kind of skipped it a lot when Good Movie first came out, and I'm still kind of skipping it whenever I listen to Good Movie. But I like the beat switch on it, but not anything that's gonna make you say wow. A lot of people are like, they either hate Love Reeks or they love it, and I'm the one that loves this. When Pierre made the announcement that Mr. Deeds was actually going to be released, I was like, okay, I need to listen to this snippet. And I listened to it and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. And it had, if you guys remember, it had that cut 'em bitches off verse. Unfortunately, he cut that verse off, which was like the best part of the song. So it's going on A tier just for that. If it had that verse, it was going to be on S tier. Love Scam is like the prequel to Good Movie. I never listened to it though, so it's on C tier. It's not too bad, but Lovers is okay. I like the sample in it, but Pierre's rapping on this is kind of garbage. It's going on B tier because I like it based on nostalgia reasons. I first heard Mad right after Pierre previewed it on the Life of Pierre 5 documentary he posted. And I like the track a lot. It's going on A tier. It's pretty good, especially for when it came out. It's pretty good. I love the violins on Making Good Decisions. A tier. Marie Curie, I think that's how you say it. Marie Curie, I don't know. Come on, S tier. S tier. Monica Lewinsky, this has a crazy beat for 2016, and for that alone, it's going on A tier. Motorola, I like this track a lot. I kind of have stopped listening to it, but just because it's just a good track, I'm just gonna put it in A tier. Moto is pretty unremarkable, but like if you actually listen, it's a bit long, and if you put all that aside, it's a pretty good track. You know, you have that beat switch, so I'm just gonna put it in A tier for that. Movie, pretty good. I mean, for an intro, it's okay, but it's not a good Pierre track. I liked this track a lot at one point, but it's not good. It's going on C tier. Moving Too Fast. I never listened to Moving Too Fast. I'm gonna be honest. It's going on C tier. My Shooter. It's A tier. It's not quite as good as Bear Brick and Fiji, but it's still it's almost up there, but it's not up there. If there was like an A+++, it would be up there. Nike. Never listened to it that much. Kind of bad for me, so it's going on C tier. No More Favors is going with Monica Lewinsky because for me they're like a puzzle. They go together, these two. So yeah. New York in June. I don't have much to say about this other than that he kind of like the second verse sounds like shit for some reason, and I don't know why. It sounds badly mixed. So putting it in A tier though. I love this track. OMS, B tier, pretty mediocre. Opening scene fucking sucks for Pierre transition and a Pierre intro, so it's going on D tier. Percolate is like a single Pierre released. If you traveled back in time and you heard this, you would be out of your fucking mind. And for that, it's going on A tier. I feel like Poof is the track that like it's either the first or the second Pierre track you listen to. I love this track. It was like the second track I listened to. The first one was Yo Pierre, and I was like, okay, I'm on to something here. It's S tier. I'm sorry. Imagine if Drake cleared his verse on Poof. Jesus Christ. Pop Out, A tier, best track on Yo 88. Practice is a very memorable track because of that SpongeBob lyric, and it was the first track I loved on my first listen on The Life of Pierre 5. A tier, not quite S tier, just A tier. Sane, one of the best tracks on Good Movie. Sane is going on A tier because it sounds a bit rough around the edges, and it kind of turns you off while listening to it, but it's still good. Purple Jeans, S tier. I don't care. Purple Jeans is S tier. Okay, let's just breathe through these. So Racer is okay. I skipped this track at first, but now I think it's pretty good. It's going on A tier. Retroville, A tier. If Rocky cleared his verse, it would be S tier because the Rocky version is better. Richer Dreams, B tier. I like this track a lot. I listened to like remasters of it on SoundCloud, but right now I don't really listen to it. Romeo Must Die. I love the ending to Romeo Must Die, and that beat is amazing. And for that, it's going on S tier. I'm a sucker for violins and strings and all that. Rounds. If the sample was cleared, it would be higher on the tier list. But for now, it's a B tier. I like Routine a lot, and that is everything I have to say about Routine. So it's going on S. It's going on A tier. Run It. I hated it at first. I hate it a bit less now, but I don't think it's that good. Safe Haven, I think a lot of people hate this track, but I think it's pretty okay. It's B. It's B tier. Safe, B tier. Quicksand is, I think Quicksand is B tier. I don't think I can give it anything higher than that. Center Ass Home, crazy beat, A tier, I love it. Sensitivity, I don't like this track. I hate this track. Soul's House Party is slept on, especially if you listen to it sped up. It's pretty good, but the bass version is good as well. So it's going on A tier. Very slept on Sauce House Party. Very slept on. She, very slept on as well. A tier. Shit Crazy. It's B tier. I used to love this track a lot, but I don't really fuck with it anymore that much. Shorty Diary sucks now. It has the same curse as Hop in My Bed. Pierre changed it for no reason. If you were like a Pierre fan back then, if you're like a big Pierre fan, before he released Good Movie, he previewed this track on IG, and he had like trumpets in the background, and people made remasters and put them on SoundCloud, and they had so many streams. Like, people wanted this track, and Pierre is like, okay, I'm just gonna change it. The track that people have listened to in low quality for 6-7 months now, I'm just gonna change it. Pierre is so stupid. He overthinks too much. Like, what is wrong with Pierre? It's still good, but I don't listen to it for that reason. It's B tier. If you know about this track, you know, like, the beat is amazing on this, so it's going on A tier. Sober is one of these tracks, like pre-TLOP tracks. Or wait, was this after TLOP? I think this was before TLOP 1. I could be wrong on that, but I like this track a lot. It's going on A tier. Solo Dolo is B tier. Dear Sauce Girl is again B tier. Sauce Boy and Sauce Girl are both S tier. Argue with a wall. They both go together. They're like a puzzle. Sauce Boy 2 is... I really did hate this track when it first came out, and my friends were like, no, this is hard as hell. And I was like, nah, I don't like this, because it was Pierre rapping, and I didn't like Pierre's rapping that much at the time. I liked Pierre's melodic rapping a lot. So, yeah, but now it's okay. I listen to it here and there, so it's going on A tier. The intro to Sauce Girl, Sauce Pack, okay, it's fine. It's B tier. Speed Dial it's fine. It's like an A tier. I feel a bit sick after talking. I've been recording for 40 minutes and I feel sick. Okay, let's just move through this. So Spike Lee, I'll put it in B tier. It's okay. Stella, same with Spike Lee, B tier. Stereotypes, I like when it goes into double mid, and it's pretty good. It's going on A tier. Stunt 102, it's fine. It's okay. It's pure on a Yi type beat. It's going on B tier. Superstar, I was obsessed with this thing where when he like previewed it on IG Live, but right now I rarely listen to it, so it's going on B tier. Switching Lanes is a classic, so it's going on S tier. Switched on Me, it's good. It's good. It's going on A tier. I love Switched on Me. System, I never listened to System. I hate System. I never listened to this track. D tier. Tabloid, I like the half of the track where Pierre starts rapping. It's pretty good. It's going on A tier. I never really listened to leaks of Tabloid, but A tier. TBH, Slept On, A tier. Thank You Jesus, pretty okay, not anything crazy, B tier. Try Again, classic, A tier. Victoria's Secrets, I hate this track a bit. I don't like Victoria's Secrets at all. It's going on D tier. Watch Out, C tier. I didn't like it that much. She Smoked All My Weed, B tier. Pretty okay. What I Gotta Do, he fucked up the beat on this one as well. He really did. So it's going C tier just for that. Where You Going is probably one of those tracks that he didn't even change. He didn't change after releasing Good Movie that much, so it's going on A tier. Why Can't We Just Fuck, B tier. Witty Skit, as far as Pierre transitions go, it's B tier. No, it's A tier. It's pretty good. I like it. There's this little, it's like Pierre and like a friend talking. Yes, yeah, C tier. I didn't like it that much. YNS kind of slept on this track, but kind of not at the same time. I think like it's perfectly rated, so it's going in A tier. Yo Pierre, one of the first tracks I listened to Pierre rapping, but at the time, I didn't really know that that was Pierre rapping. I thought it was just like someone else. Yeah, I just skipped to the Cardi part when I first listened to this track, but now I skip to the Pierre part whenever I listen to it, so that's pretty good. It's going on A tier. No, actually, no, it's going on S tier. This is a classic. Yogurt has a corny title, but yeah, it's fine. It's B tier. Okay, History. I didn't even know History was released by Pierre. I thought it was just like a leak, but nope, he released it, and I like it a lot. It's going in A tier. I love this track. I didn't even know Pierre had hacked my Snapchat. So I listened to it. I liked it. Not much else to say. A tier. Morals is like a pre-TLOP single. It's kind of rough, but at the time, it was pretty okay. So I'm putting it in B tier. Pokeball, A tier. I like it a lot. Believe, again, pre-TLOP this one. Same with Morals. Not anything bad, but not anything good. Okay, we're up to the King of the Hill. So here's the thing with King of the Hill. Most of these tracks I didn't like. And yeah, I'm 100% honest. I didn't like most of these tracks because they sound rough. Actually, no, they sound very rough, some of these. But the one track I will put that is miles better than any other track is Throwback Thursday. I don't even think you can see it, but it's Throwback Thursday, and it's going in A tier because of that sample and Pierre's ability to catch up with the sample. Every other Throwback Thursday track is going in C tier because I did not like it out, except Recess. Recess is going in B tier, but like every other track, I did not like it. I genuinely did not. Cushion Grits, Loud Pack, We Ain't Tripping, and How Does It Feel? All these tracks are pre-TLOP, so they're a bit rough, but they're not bad. Cushion Grits, B tier. Literally. Loud Pack, B tier. We Ain't Tripping. Okay, We Ain't Tripping is C tier. It's not that good. But How Does It Feel? Yeah, How Does It Feel is B tier. So, yeah, not too bad. Sorry I rushed a bit at the end there, but I've been recording for 52 minutes and I'm a bit sick. And my head is starting to hurt. So I'm sorry about that, but this is the complete list. Again, take it with a grain of salt. It's just the stuff that I like right now and the stuff I don't like right now. Maybe one day I'll wake up and I will like Collection Plate. Who knows? But for now, this is my Pierre ranking of every single song. I made this list. You can check this list down in the description. Yeah, I made it, so might as well just like give it to some people to use. Yeah, that's it. And also I've made a Spotify playlist with all of my favorite Pierre tracks. There's not gonna be some of them There will not be every single track because some of these tracks are like only on SoundCloud. But there will be only the tracks that are on Spotify. So you can check that out as well. It's in the description. And yeah, that's it. If you made it this far, subscribe. Because you made it this far, so you might as well subscribe. Okay, goodbye.